From the Watergate Building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now hear Hotline editors Amy Walter and John Mercurio.
Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Amy Walter. Well, Bill Gardner finally set the date in New Hampshire. Bless his little heart. Now the New Hampshire primary is just 42 days away.
I know. Feels like Christmas morning.
Doesn't it? So what do you want to talk about New Hampshire? Give us the lay of the land, my friend. The snow-covered lay of the land.
New Hampshire on the Democratic side, I think, looks less and less like it's even much of a race. Hillary Clinton getting the endorsement of John Lynch's wife, much as John Kerry got the endorsement of Christy Vilsack in the Iowa caucus in 2004, is sort of a harbinger. I think a lot of
establishment,
the establishment
lining
in New
up. She
Hampshire.
has Jeanne Shaheen's husband as well.
She obviously also has Jeanne Shaheen's husband. She can't endorse herself because she's running for Senate. But you're seeing the establishment in New Hampshire following in line with the Clinton campaign. She's the front runner by far. The interesting side, though, is the Republican primary. You see Rudy Giuliani making a move.
Or a play.
A play or a ploy. But they say ploy up in New Hampshire. That's more of the New England accent that they work on. Making a play for Mitt Romney's backyard, which is really interesting if you think about what Mike Duhane was saying just 3 weeks ago, which is that we can afford to wait until February 5th. We can afford to sit these January primaries out, wait until February 5th to really go after him. Now, the question is whether it's desperation on Giuliani's part, or it's a sense of overconfidence that they can actually really make a play for New Hampshire and win, coming from third place to first.
But I think that they don't even have to anymore. And see, this is where, and it's not in Duhame's hands anymore, Giuliani's. In fact, it's in the hands of two people now, Mike Huckabee and John McCain. I mean, their ability to knock Mitt Romney off of his front-runner status in Iowa. If that race is very close, this is a guy who will have outspent Mike Huckabee by like 3 million to 1. Mm-hmm. This thing is, if Mike Huckabee wins, first of all, that's just disastrous for Romney, but even if it's very close, that takes some of the air out of the balloon. I think that's the phrase.
That's the
air balloon.
Phrase,
okay.
Sure.
Then we go to New Hampshire. Again, McCain doesn't have to win. McCain doesn't even have to be a viable candidate post New Hampshire. But just giving Romney, a fight helps Giuliani, and then it's true. It's still it means that it's still all up in the air.
Then it's Giuliani.
Win, ding ding, Giuliani.
Those are big ifs, though. I'm sorry. I love Mike Huckabee. He's a great candidate, but he's a great American. He's always got those great lines at the debates. Totally unorganized campaign. Sorry, I know that Mike Huckabee, a big friend of the show, big fan of Hotline TV, and we love having him watch us every day, as he does, but he should actually not be watching us every day. He should be out there campaigning and organizing for the Iowa caucus. He not doing that and his campaign not raising the money they need to raise, I think, is why all these big ifs. He wins if he gives Romney a big race. There's a big difference between polling the Iowa caucus and actually seeing how people, polling the Iowa caucus in November.
Goers and actually turning people out. I agree. What's also really interesting in New Hampshire is the fact that usually you say, well, gosh, there's a food fight here between Romney and Giuliani, and there are a whole bunch of people who could benefit, right? Could McCain, could Thompson, could Huckabee. But when you look at just how much room they have to grow, right? We already saw this last week in the CNN MUR poll that 61% of Republicans say they would never vote for Ron Paul. 50% would never vote for Fred Thompson. So it's not as if McCain even has to worry about these guys sort of sopping up that extra vote. Right. He's got it sort of all to himself. Could be interesting to watch.
You mentioned Fred Thompson. Poor Fred Thompson and the Fredsgiving. Well, I think the early flaw was the name of the event.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry, folks. We have run out of time here today.
Well, join us tomorrow when John will have a mystery guest. Isn't that exciting?
Mystery guest host.
Yes, or a host, or maybe both.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Hotline TV.